Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Thursday, December 19th. The market tried to rally today and bounce off yesterday's sell-off, but that rally fizzled out. And I'm not that surprised because the political environment right now, the political backdrop, whatever you want to call it, is hanging over the market, and this potential for the government shutdown right now is very high. And there was some hope earlier today when a second spending bill proposed by Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, got Trump's support. Now, there's been a lot going on in the last, day or two. I mean, it's kind of comical, but at the same time, it's really not comical because, everybody's portraying the situation as President Elon Musk, Vice President Donald Trump. Obviously, the implication there is that it's Musk who's pulling the strings. It's Musk who's deciding policy. And frankly, I don't know if I could argue with that. Today when Trump said he was backing this new spending bill, I thought, well, that's good. I mean, he is the president. He was the guy who got elected. Elon didn't get elected. And it bothers me, I have to say, when I see him meddling. And Ramaswamy, I mean, what is he doing in the picture too? But anyway, when Trump said he was backing this second proposal by Mike Johnson, I thought, well, good, maybe we'll get this thing passed and there won't be an interruption, and that would be positive, at least going into next year. And by the way, in the new proposal, they were extending the debt ceiling or suspending the debt ceiling for another 2 years. And Trump said, he wants to do away with the debt ceiling, which is a absolutely, correct and logical and rational thing to do. All right. The debt ceiling is an anachronism. It goes back to the days when the United States was on a gold standard pre-1933. And all it is this arbitrary constraint on the government, which is the sovereign issuer of dollars. It is a constraint on the government's ability to supply dollars into the economy. And like I've been trying to explain, many times, that if you have a government that imposes taxes and fees payable only in its own currency, it must supply that currency to the non-government in order for the non-government to comply with those taxes and fees. There's no other way. It's not coming from Japanese yen. It's not coming from Chinese yuan. It's not coming from British pounds or Canadian dollars or euro or Swiss francs or anything else for that matter. Again, this is the monopoly game. Read the instructions. First thing you do, the game has to distribute the money. So these people don't understand. And Elon Musk, like I saw him on an interview where he said, he was asked, some questions, and he got into this whole spending thing again. And he's like, the government's got to stop spending. Bad things are going to happen. This is just insane. Well, bad things are going to happen if the government doesn't supply the currency, the dollars, if it's going to impose taxes and fees, which you have to pay, or else there are severe consequences. If it's going to impose taxes and fees that are only payable in its own money, it has to make that money available because it can't come from anywhere else. I don't understand what's so hard to grasp on that. Now, Elon, he's a great engineer, a great entrepreneur, but he is an economic illiterate. And his meddling it's a problem. So anyway, what I was going to say was that it looked like today that Trump was back in charge, that he said he was backing the new proposal put forth by Speaker Johnson. But a couple of minutes ago, I just found out that the House voted down the new proposal. And that probably is because of Elon Musk. I mean, he is the guy controlling the situation right now. At least that's the way it appears to me. Unless I see something different where Trump's word or Trump's, efforts, mandates, whatever you want to call it, his commands are followed. Sorry. Unless I see that, then to me it looks like, because Musk hasn't backed off on his position. He wants he says the government's going to go bankrupt. All this nonsense that he has in his brain, he's fixated on this stuff. He's got his little buddy there, Ramaswamy. I mean, these two guys, anyway, look, here's the thing. All right. I keep saying this. If there's a lot of things happening right now, and I've been saying this since the election, before the election. We don't know until policy starts to get passed. All right. We're going into, this is the start of it. We're going into, January 20th, he's in office. Trump's in office. He says he's going to do things on day one. We have this right here now, this continuing resolution that has to be passed. So there's going to be a government shutdown. He's talking about tariffs. You have Musk and Swami with the Doge thing going on. All right. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I've been going through. And so a lot of this still has to come together. In the meantime, fiscal flows are still very, very strong. So I would argue that this pullback in the stock market is a buying opportunity. Okay, and as long as those flows stay strong, that should be the case. As a matter of fact, coming into the second half of the end of December into early January, we're going to get another acceleration in these leading fiscal flows. That's very positive. But I have to say, personally, in the bigger picture, not talking about the next couple of weeks or into mid-February, which I think let me just say this, if they get this bill passed, I think we're good into mid-February. And then we'll see what happens with the new proposals. Okay, I think the market will run back up. Maybe not make new highs necessarily, but we'll get a rebound off of that big sell-off yesterday from Powell, and also, I guess, from these developments regarding Congress and passing a continuing resolution. So if they get this done, I think we're good into mid-February. The market's going to bounce. That's a tradable bounce. But I have to say, in the bigger picture, my personal gut feeling, looking at what's going on, looking at the influence of Musk and his very, very ignorant understanding of government spending, to me, it looks like it has bad news written all over it. I mean, it really does. I started liquidating some stock positions today that I've had for a long time. I mean, I just think you can't have stupid applied into policy and expect that the results are, you could have managed stupid, which is what we've had for decades, okay? Things like the debt ceiling, which every time it came up, okay, there's brinkmanship and eventually gets raised, or not having a budget and going from continuing resolution to continuing resolution, stuff like that. You could have managed stupid, but you can't have full-blown stupid and expect good results. And I think, and this is just, I'm speaking like out of context of being an economist and talking my MMT stuff, like, the stuff I advise you guys on, or things that my subscribers get in my report. I'm just saying my personal view that this is stupid at a dangerous level, because you have a guy here who's the richest, not just that he's the richest guy in the world, which is a very, very important factor, because he has massive influence with like basically unlimited amount of funds. But also because he's got X, and X is a disseminator of information, the likes of which we've never seen before. It influences people. And so he's able to pump out his beliefs and his ideas. And that is, I mean, the power of that. I mean, you can't even state it, really. It's mind-boggling. So, like, that's the thing that bothers me. Like, you have a guy that his economic understanding is at very high levels of stupid. It is. I'm sorry. Like, maybe some of you'll be offended, or you say, what do you know, Mike? Blah, blah, blah. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to economics. Maybe I don't know anything about rockets. Maybe I don't know anything about building electric cars. Although I'm pretty good with my hands and building stuff. I'm a pretty capable guy when it comes to stuff like that. Maybe not building electric cars or rockets. But I know what I'm talking about when it comes to economics, okay? And he can't hold a candle to me when it comes to that. I'm sorry, he just can't. But you got a guy with extremely powerful influence and basically unlimited money, disseminating stupid, all right? And this is dangerous stupid. It's not like what I said before. It's not managed stupid, where it could never really get out of control because nobody had that kind of power to let it, to make it get out of control. This guy has that power, okay? So I'd like to see this continuing resolution passed. I'd like to see Trump, like, get back in control, and it's disappointing. And that's a mild word. I have to say, it's disappointing that tonight the House voted down that second proposal, which Trump backed. Okay, supposedly he's the leader of the GOP. You had defectors in the GOP who voted along the lines of the Democrats. And so that's the influence of Musk. That's the Democrats separately. Okay, they're going to... You know what's going on with politics in this country. It's split right down the middle. The House has like a very, very slim margin. I think maybe one seat, something like that. So like, it's tough for the Republicans. They just don't have the votes. And all you need is a few Republicans to defect. And this is what happens. But it doesn't help that you got this guy, Musk, with his power and influence, and he's messed up in the head when it comes to economics. This stuff is not that hard to understand, but if you have a deeply held belief in a kind of a mythology, almost a kind of a religion, you know how religion is, right? People die for religion. If you have that kind of a deeply held belief, which is what he has, he conflates, the business world, the private sector world with the federal government of the United States. It's apples and oranges. It's two different things. He does not understand that. They function differently. The government has to provide dollars if it's gonna... Listen, if we didn't have taxes to pay, and, if we were a net saver, like exporting our product, and the foreign sector was the net spender, and it was taxes imposed in yen or yuan or whatever, that'd be a different story. But that's not the story. We have a central government, a federal government, which is the sovereign monopoly issuer of the US dollar and it imposes taxes and fees that are only payable in US dollars. It must distribute the dollars in order for us to pay those taxes and fees. It has to. There's no other logical way to look at it. That is just by a point of logic, that's how it works. So anyway, that's it for today. Please like and subscribe. We'll see what happens. I mean, tomorrow, if they shut down, and depending how long that shutdown lasts, Musk said there should be no new bills introduced in Congress or passed until Trump takes office on January 20th. So that's, you're talking about a month of a government shutdown. Salaries not being paid, a lot of people not getting paid. I mean, that's income collapse. And that's not good. All right, that's it. Please like and subscribe. Go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial to MMT Trader. See you tomorrow. Bye. We'll see what happens.